The Beast Peaks spanned over 10,000 miles. The journey from West Haven spanned 20,000 miles. Starting from the eastern region of the Dominion would add even more to this already considerable distance. Traveling 20,000 miles would likely take a full year. "I'm Linley Wolfram, from Raven Peak," Linley politely introduced himself. "Raven Peak." Nathan widened his eyes and asked, "You're lucky then." "It took me an entire year to get from my home to Celestial City. I bet it took you much less time." "Yeah, it took me just half a day to get here from home. One person spent an entire year traveling, while the other took just half a day." As part of the enrollment process, there was another test to verify each student's abilities. After all, Oakfield Institute was concerned about people forging acceptance letters and impersonating admitted students. "I'm on my way. See you later, Linley," Nathan said as he promptly headed to take the test. Once it was over, upon seeing the test results, Linley was quite surprised. Nathan Reed had an impressive knack for elemental magic and exceptional mental strength. At just 18 years old, Nathan had will force that was calculated to be 32 times greater than his peers. Linley was taken aback when he heard the numbers reported by the examiner, but their expressions remained calm and unsurprised. "Why that face?" "Are you surprised?" Nathan said nonchalantly. "This is Oakfield Institute. They only accept 100 students each year from all over the realm. Every single one is a genius. If you think that I'm a genius or something, don't. I'm probably simply average here. But the Institute shows preference to the Holy Alliance states when admitting students. They admit most from the Holy Alliance alone, while the other kingdoms and Shadow Covenant combined only get about 30 seats if they're lucky. It's really unfair," he added. Linley let out an awkward smile upon hearing this. Given its establishment by the Sacred Covenant, Oakfield Institute naturally supports the interests of their own coalition. "My turn," Linley said as he went for the test. "This fellow is from the Sacred Covenant. He has a much greater advantage over me in the Institute's admissions. His talent likely doesn't match mine," Nathan thought to himself. He was very confident. When the examiner reported Linley's results, Nathan was stunned. His will force is exceptional, and he has an impressive knack for both earth and wind elements. Nathan was speechless. Having an impressive knack for elemental magic in just one type was already extremely rare, but Linley actually had it in two, both of which were remarkable. This made him a true genius, even stronger than Nathan. After all, mages with dual elemental affinities were historically considered very powerful. "Nathan, don't daydream. Let's go," Linley said with a smile. Although Nathan was only a year younger than Linley, he looked a couple of years younger. The two boys received their student identification cards from one of the elders and the keys to their dormitory. Regardless of their background, all students had to live in the dormitories at the Institute. Both tuition and housing were completely free. However, students from outside the Shadow Covenant were usually made to pay substantial fees. "Wow, you have to pay tuition?" Linley was surprised to see an elderly gentleman beside Nathan assisting with the payment. Hillman, standing next to Linley, laughed and said, "Linley, Sacred Covenant members get their tuition and housing fees waived, but others must pay high fees." Nathan nodded in agreement. An elderly gentleman next to Nathan smiled kindly at Linley. "Yes, the Institute offers free tuition for students from your kingdom. However, those from other regions must pay high fees." Linley quickly grasped the situation. "Linley, Nathan has the same dormitory key as you, so you two should be in the same dormitory. I hope you can help each other in the future," the elderly gentleman said warmly. Nathan said impatiently, "All right, Grandpa George, you can go back now. I've settled in. I'll be fine. And besides, you have a long trip ahead of you. Mr. Hillman, you should go back too." "I'll take care of myself," Linley added. "Linley, I'll go back then. Work hard. And don't be up to any mischief," Hillman said encouragingly. Linley nodded with a playful grin. "Linley, let's go check out the rest of the place." Nathan enthusiastically grabbed Linley's hand and rushed through the halls. "Mr. Hillman, goodbye." Hillman and the elderly gentleman lingered, watching the two children disappear into the Institute, and after a long pause, they departed. After bidding farewell to their chaperones, the two boys stepped into the fields. The Institute was shaded by green trees, with lakes, stone bridges, and ancient academic buildings. The air was rich in history, as if a massive tree that could be encircled by 7 or 8 people whispered tales of its great age. It's truly different. Unlike some flashy new academies, this place exudes genuine heritage, Nathan said as his wide eyes scanned the surroundings with curiosity. Nathan, let's head to the dormitory, Linley said, pulling Nathan along as they hurried there. The dormitory is numbered 198. The two of them had just completed the enrollment procedures. Generally, 4 students lived in one dormitory. When they arrived at the residential area, they couldn't help but marvel at the thousands of dormitory buildings stretching out before them. In addition to these thousands of single-family houses, there were also a few distinctive 2-story apartments, which stood out due to their unique design. Both the boys, determined to find their dormitory, scanned the numbers as they ran south, calling out 198, 198 to keep track of their progress. The numbering system in the residential area was very organized, starting from 001, with each row containing 20 single-occupancy homes. When Linley reached the 20th row, he saw 190 and then turned eastward. Nathan, panting as they ran, kept pace with Linley. They finally stopped when they reached the single-occupancy house numbered 198. "Oh my God!" they muttered in unison. The warm glow of the afternoon sun bathed the dormitory buildings in golden light as Linley and Nathan stood frozen before their new home. Dormitory 198. After weaving through the maze of identical structures, their breathless journey had finally come to an end. The single-occupancy house stood modest yet sturdy, its wooden frame blending seamlessly with the countless others stretching into the horizon. For a moment, neither of them spoke, their eyes sweeping over the building that would be their sanctuary for the course duration. Nathan exhaled sharply, hands on his knees. "Well, we made it," he muttered. Linley, still staring at the door, smirked. "Yeah, home sweet home. Man, I'm exhausted, Linley. How do you have so much stamina?" Nathan said as he panted heavily. "You're tired already?" Linley laughed. "We haven't even come that far. I could run from my village to here without even breaking a sweat." Just then, a young boy's clear voice rang out from within the building. "Hey, put it over there." "Yeah, the box goes there. Be careful. You can't afford to damage it." Linley and Nathan exchanged a glance, then curiously walked in. As soon as they entered, they saw several burly men moving various items around. A well-dressed boy stood in the center, constantly giving orders. The boy's eyes lit up as soon as he saw both of them walk in. He excitedly ran over.
Wait, that's not the end. You've just had a free taste. Now get the full story on the Pocket FM app, link in description. Check out our next video and playlist, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.